Hello, today we're going to demonstrate for you the replacement of a Patriot 0.98 meter antenna Feedhorn cover. In order to do this replacement, you'll need to obtain a parts kit from Clear Channel Satellite Services, which include the following items. In the kit you'll receive some nitro gloves, a replacement lens with protective coating, a tube of liquid nails, clear silicone adhesive, and a can of liquid electrical tape to seal all the connections after you're done making the repairs. You'll also need several additional items: a 7/16 inch wrench to disconnect the connectors from the L&B and the buck, and you'll need a razor knife and some paper towels or perhaps lens wipes if you have them to finish the job. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and demonstrate replacing the cover. So I'm going to put on my nitro gloves, and prior to working on the antenna we want to be certain that we disconnect the sit from the lower portion inside the building, and to be doubly sure that we're not going to be exposed to any harmful radiation, we want to disconnect both connections, the L&B and the buck connections, to make sure that the equipment is completely inert. We just remove those. You might want to tag them to make sure that you have them properly labeled so they go back to the right device. Alright, so now that we have that safely disconnected, we can move to the lens cap replacement. Prior to replacing the lens, we have to remove the old lens, and so we do that by just making a cut in the lens cap cover and attempting to peel that off. This may take a little bit of work to get there, but doing this should be fairly easy. Of course, you want to be careful not to cut yourself in any way. And it's just going to be kind of chipping through this. This is old hardened material, so it's going to be pretty much glued into place, and you just have to kind of scrape it off until you remove all of the old material. At this point the lens can be pulled out and peeled away, and you can continue to peel away the old lens material on the outside. Alright, so now we have the old lens removed. We're going to open our silicone package here. And now inside the Feedhorn you'll see a number of rings. These are called annular rings. They do serve an electrical purpose. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill this outer annular ring completely full of silicone. So we take our tube and we start at one side. If we open the tube, always helps to have it open. And we simply start to fill that first annular ring with the 100% silicone adhesive. Alright, so you want to make sure that there's not a lot of excess inside. Let's scrape that off with your fingers, wipe it off on your paper towel. And now you want to get your lens, and on this lens you usually find a protective coating that you simply peel off the lens on both sides. Looks like my nitro gloves aren't holding up here, but okay here. So I'm going to set the lens inside. You'll see the silicone crush against the unit, and it's okay if you see some extra silicone in there. That won't cause any additional issues. We just don't want it really thick. And so hopefully at this point there's been some silicone expressed to the outside. We simply take our finger and cause it to form a bead. Now if you didn't get some to completely fill it, you can come back with an additional bit of silicone, and again use your finger to form a bead around the outside of the lens. use your paper towel or your lens wipe to clean up any excess silicone. Keep in mind that it doesn't have to be exactly transparent, and there's no problem getting silicone onto the lens itself. You just don't want large globs of silicone and that type of thing. So at this point, our lens replacement is just about complete. But we want to take our connectors and remake our connectors for both our L and B and our buck. So we've reconnected those, and now the last step of any job is to seal all the connectors and make sure that we're weatherproof and won't have any problems down the road with water penetration. So we'll go ahead and take our liquid electrical tape, stir it up appropriately, and coat your connectors. Once your connectors are all coated, you can re-enable the equipment at the bottom end, and your lens cap replacement is complete. Now we'll make one note here that if the elevation of the antenna is such that the lens cap won't stay in on its own just with contact to the adhesive, that you can take a piece of tape and tape it across the front to hold the lens in place until it cures. The cure on this is 16 hours, but it should hold the lens in tightly within the first few minutes, and substantially cured within an hour. So that completes the replacement of the Patriot 0.98 meter lens replacement.